to Daniel Dubois, and you know what? It's a shock. It's a complete shock.
Direction we're going to go in for this next step.
Who is next? Is Moses Itoma on the horizon?
All the guys in the heavyweight division, yeah, they're all the guy, especially the one who has the belts, and you know, if the belts fragment or whatever, stuff like that can happen. Whatever way I can become two-time heavyweight champion. That's where I'm going.
Do you think
Mike
you would
Tyson was 20 years and 5 months when he wins the heavyweight championship of the world. Don't take anything away from Moses Itoma. He could have done that to Dillian in the pomp of his career. You know, there's nobody in the world right now, apart from Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, who he couldn't pick holes.
Stunned by the hype around Moses Itoma versus Daniel Dubois. Even Johnny Nelson highlights how both fighters believe they're the best in the world. Fans want this clash more than the fighters themselves. And when pride and power collide, one man is certain to hit the canvas early.
That fight happening now this year, and again, it's talk. You've got two fighters that don't need to fight, two fighters that really believe they were the best fighters in the world, that have to come to terms with it mentally. Two fighters that you know, we probably want the fight more than they do. So with these two fighters, it's a choice.
It's more interesting when Eddie Hearn shares his take. Eddie Hearn knows exactly how special Moses Itoma is, but he's cautious about rushing him into the ring with Daniel Dubois. At just 20, Moses has the skills, power, and mentality to dominate the division. Dubois, he's dangerous, but against a phenom like Moses, he's walking into deep water.
He might knock him out, I don't know, but personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing, and I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test.
You can't hide his excitement about Moses Itoma's rise. He believes size doesn't matter when talent and power are on another level. Moses has both. Compared to Moses' raw skill and composure, Daniel Dubois looks like a step behind, struggling to match the pace of a future champion. Unlike Moses, he's walking into deep water. At just 20, Moses has the skills, power, and...
What worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent.
Adam Smith gives his take on just how far Moses can really go. Adam Smith believes Moses Itoma is already knocking on the doors of the heavyweight elite. Apart from Usyk, there aren't many who could handle Moses' speed, skill, and aggression. And yes, he mentions Dubois, but let's be honest, Dubois has never faced a fighter as explosive as Moses.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. The top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet. Could he beat
Dama admits sparring Daniel Dubois wasn't easy, but listen closely, that's respect, not fear. Moses thrives on challenges and even calls Dubois' style tricky, yet he sounds calm, composed, and confident. When fight night comes, that composure could be the difference between domination and disaster, and Moses doesn't do disaster. Adam Smith gives his take on just how far Moses can really go. Adam Smith believes Moses Itoma is already knocking on the doors of the heavyweight elite. Apart from Usyk, there aren't many who could handle Moses' speed, skill, and aggression. And yes, he mentions Dubois, but let's be honest, Dubois has never faced a fighter as explosive as Moses.
Do you even speak much? Like, how does it go?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually surprised. He's completely different to what he portrays, like what people think he actually is. Like, no, I was surprised, but yeah, no, training with the bar it's been good. Obviously in that high altitude in Spain as well. Yeah, I can't really ask for a better prep camp.
I think it was in that George Groves podcast, you talked about maybe your most difficult spot has been Daniel Dubois, because he's not like a plodder, he moves.
Yeah, no, it's literally styles makes fights, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think Dubois, his style is one of my trickiest. So yeah, it gels well.
When Roy Jones Dubois compares Moses Itoma to a young Mike Tyson, since his earlier setbacks, Dubois looks sharper, stronger, and far more composed. But here's the reality: improvement doesn't automatically mean dominance. Against a rising force like Moses Itoma, every small weakness gets magnified. While Frampton admits Dubois is more dangerous, his hesitation says it all. Even he doesn't fully believe Dubois can handle the relentless pace Moses brings. Moses has the speed, agility, and boxing IQ to dismantle opponents before they settle into rhythm, something Dubois has struggled with in high-pressure situations. Frampton calls Moses a genius, and that speaks volumes.
Unlike Moses,
Dubois may have power, but power means nothing if you can't land. And with Moses' slick footwork and sharp counters, Dubois could find himself chasing shadows while taking heavy shots.
Much more dangerous fighter than he was. So he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the
Junior compares Moses Itama to a young Mike Tyson. You know something special is happening. That's elite level praise, and Roy doesn't hand it out lightly. Moses has that same aura Tyson had, explosive combinations, knockout power, and a fearless mindset that breaks opponents before the first punch lands. Dubois, meanwhile, has faced adversity, but he hasn't shown the same killer instinct Moses carries naturally. Roy points out something crucial. If Moses can touch you, he'll finish you. No hesitation, no wasted motion. Clean, ruthless, clinical. Dubois has power too, but unlike Moses, he needs time and space to set up his shots. Against a pressure fighter like Moses, that luxury won't exist. The comparison to Tyson isn't just about power, it's about mentality, swagger, and dominance. And right now, Dubois doesn't have that Tyson-level fire. Moses does.
With AJ and things like that, but I don't even want to talk on that too much. You know, that's not why anything went wrong in the fight. You know, I look to myself and look what I could have done better and things like that. But yeah, it worked the first time with AJ, so it's a whole new beginning for me moving forward now. What I've got to change and get right.
Your dad's still a big influence on you. How involved is he? I mean, some might say he's too involved.
Mark Tibbs believes Dubois still has a path to victory if he can use his size and confidence. Mark Tibbs sees a different Daniel Dubois, one who's mentally stronger, physically bigger, and more confident than ever before. He highlights Dubois' natural heavyweight size and improved mindset, suggesting it could play a key role in this fight. But let's break it down realistically. Size and confidence only work if you can control the pace. Against someone like Moses Itama, that's easier said than done. Moses is fast, explosive, and calculated, thriving on closing distance before opponents can set up their power. Dubois has struggled under pressure before. Against fighters who push the tempo, he's been forced into mistakes. Moses has the tools to exploit that again. While Tibbs praises Dubois' potential, the reality is Moses represents a different level of danger. To win, Dubois would need his best ever performance, yet Moses only needs to be himself. That's the difference.
And he's grown in confidence since that. I mean, he's in a great place, Dubois, and he can win that fight. He's a big natural heavyweight.
Frank Warren doubles down on one undeniable truth. Daniel Dubois can punch, and when he lands clean, he's dangerous. But against Moses Itama, that's only half the battle. Power only matters if you can connect, and that's where Dubois faces his biggest challenge. Moses' footwork, defensive movement, and counterpunching are far beyond anything Dubois has faced before. Warren highlights Dubois' ability to knock out world-class fighters, but he's never faced anyone with Moses' composure and adaptability. Moses has the ring IQ to neutralize Dubois' strength, frustrate him early, and drain his confidence round by round. Once Dubois is forced into chasing the fight, his defense tends to unravel, and that's when Moses thrives. Frank's praise is valid, but this isn't about who hits harder, it's about who lands first. And right now, Moses looks like the
but I'm talking about with somebody who doesn't fiddle around, somebody who actually would like to get in the latter rounds and is capable of knocking people over. You know, he's a puncher. You've seen him do it. He's done it.
And Peter Fury's analysis captures exactly why Moses Itama has boxing's attention right now. He calls Moses a fabulous young talent with speed, power, toughness, and composure. Four traits you rarely see combined in someone just 20 years old. Fury admits it's still early days for Moses, but his dominance so far makes it impossible to ignore his potential. Every fight, Moses has made skilled opponents look average, breaking them down with clever angles, sharp footwork, and devastating shot selection. selection. That's what separates him from fighters like Daniel Dubois. Dubois is strong and dangerous, yes, but his style is predictable, and his weaknesses under pressure have been exposed before. Against a versatile, composed fighter like Moses, those flaws could be catastrophic. While Fury points out that Moses hasn't truly been tested yet, this fight may be the perfect proving ground. If Moses handles Dubois the way many expect, it won't just confirm his hype, it'll announce him as the next superstar of the heavyweight division. And from fighters like Daniel Dubois, Dubois is strong and dangerous, yes, but his style is predictable, and
he's got speed, he's got power, he's tough, he's game, ticks all the boxes so far. So let's see. Again, he's young. You know, he's not really been tested because what he's doing to these opponents. So let's see, it's early days, but big future for him.
When he doesn't hold back at all. Eric Chisora is never one to sugarcoat his words, and his take on Daniel Dubois versus Moses Itama is brutally honest. You've got more chance of winning the lottery than beating Moses. That's not just a hot take. It reflects the growing consensus among boxing insiders. Moses isn't just talented, he's operating on a completely different level. Trained by one of the best teams in the game, he's evolving fight by fight, sharpening his weapons while maintaining composure far beyond his years. Dubois, on the other hand, has always been inconsistent when tested under fire. He carries real knockout power, but against Moses, it's not just about who hits harder, it's about who lands first, who adapts quicker, and who controls the pace. Moses thrives in chaos. Dubois struggles in it. Chisora's blunt assessment highlights a reality many experts agree on. If Dubois doesn't produce the perfect fight, he risks being completely outclassed by a younger, sharper.
I was 24 years old, who's got his always faculties right, getting trained by one of the best trainers in the United Kingdom, and then mate, it's like you got more chance of winning the lottery than you beating that Moses Itama.
The stage is set, and the boxing world is holding its breath. Moses Itama, the 20-year-old phenom, steps into the spotlight carrying the weight of expectation and hype, while Daniel Dubois enters with something to prove. His power, his pride, and his place among the elites. For Moses, this fight is more than just another step. It's the defining moment that could announce him as the future face of heavyweight boxing. Dubois, meanwhile, faces immense pressure. One mistake against a fighter this sharp could cost him everything. Boxing pros are divided, but one thing is certain. If Moses delivers on the promise we've seen so far, Dubois will have to produce the fight of his life to survive. Now it's your turn. Who are you backing? Is Moses Itama the next heavyweight king?
Who are you backing? Is Moses Itama the next heavyweight king?
When tested under fire, he carries real knockout power, but against Moses